And we're back.
Hello.
Hey.
We've
Hey,
got
Chase.
we've got
I'm here
plenty
for
more.
you.
Oh, okay.
I want you to know I love you, Chase. And I'm here to keep you safe, okay?
I sure love the idea of getting out of this town.
I sure love the idea of not getting shot in the face.
See, now their relationship can work because now neither of them want to stay in Echo.
I sure love the idea of getting that restraining order.
You're not allowed to get restraining orders.
I don't blame Chase.
Shut up,
No,
Jenna.
like,
You're not
like,
even here right now.
like seriously. Do you think I held that judge at ransom for nothing? You can't get a restraining order against me.
No, not against you, Kudzu. We're cool.
I think he's even starting to get jealous of Kudzu, though, which is embarrassing.
Meanwhile, Kudzu's over here holding a gun to the judge, looking at Leo like, "I got you, bro."
The trek to the diner practically silent compared to just a few hours ago. I feel like there should have been an is in there.
Where was, yeah. Or is, yeah.
Aside from the nightlife, there's no screaming or shooting. The way there is fairly straightforward, straight down the main road. However, we decide to cut through backyards instead of using the road. Leo tells us it's the best way not to be seen, if there are people around. TJ keeps close to me, wanting me to keep my arm around his shoulder as we move, his eyes either squeezed shut or staring straight ahead. It's like we're moving through a haunted house, and he's too terrified to look in either direction.
Aww.
It does get too difficult to keep him that close, though, especially as we start to have to move through bushes and hop fences. I opt to hold his hand instead.
Uh-oh.
In any other situation, I'm sure TJ would have been running for the hills in embarrassment, but he clings to me like he's never going to let go. We all move in silence through the brush. The quiet is actually almost as unnerving as the shouts and gunshots were. As we move under a few straight trees, I try to keep the memory of seeing the corpse strung up out of my head. There's no way a demon, or whatever they said it was, did that. It was one of the town crazies, killed and then mutilated that person to convince us of their delusions. There's 4 of us now, and 2 of us have guns. We're gonna be fine.
Uh-oh.
Famous.
Yeah, famous last words indeed.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
They say as I'm currently eating all of their friends.
We get to after only... Wow, the words are kind of weird this time.
After only about 5 minutes, we
get to after.
We get to the diner, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might, the diner or it, yeah.
We get
to it.
Yeah, I'll go with the diner. We get to the diner after only about 5 minutes, though most of it's spent floundering through the brush and old broken fences. Because of the meandering, we actually miss it and have to backtrack. Oh wait, no, it's Leo's house that they're trying to get to.
No, they're trying to get to the diner because of the van.
Oh, you're right. Cautiously, we make our way around the diner to the parking lot and immediately spot the lone van. Yep, you were right. When we finally get there, Leo jogs up to his van, shoving a hand into his pocket. But then he freezes and stares down.
Fuck.
Me and TJ arrive next to Leo, and TJ finally lets go of my hand. What is it? I ask, but I see the problem at the same time that I do. The 2 tires that I can see are brutally slashed and completely flat. I bet the other 2 are in the same way. Leo puts his hand up to his face, rubbing his eyes vigorously with his palms.
Who did that?
TJ reaches out and grasps my hand again. Kudzu moves over to the other side of the van to inspect it.
Brian.
Leo growls out the name. How do you know? Leo doesn't say anything, sitting down on his haunches as he stares at the completely destroyed wheel.
What's that?
TJ asks quietly from beside me, studying my expression. I wonder if I should tell him. Probably not. Him scared of seeing things is bad enough. We don't need TJ to be worried about an actual person who's out to kill us. I'd actually completely forgotten about the bear up until this point. If it was truly him, then we're in more danger than I thought. It's just another person we saw. He was acting weird. It's alright. TJ doesn't seem to take much comfort in that, staring at the tires. Whether or not it was Brian, whoever it was had done a number on the tires, completely tearing the rear tire to shreds. Kudzu comes from around the side of the van, shaking his head.
Other tires are the same. How far do we think we'd get on flats?
Leo lets out a ragged growl, standing back up.
Not far enough. We'd probably get to the lake before the goddamn wheels fall off.
Leo stands there thinking. Should we just go back to the motel? Leo shakes his head.
No, I'm not staying here another minute. I'd rather start walking, actually.
To the highway? That'd take a half the day.
Well, we'd at least be getting somewhere instead of sitting around here.
Fair.
Now I want to get out of Peyton.
Echo?
Echo.
I like that you picked Peyton instead. You remember the other town.
Honestly, I did not hear pin. I heard something completely different. I heard, now I want to get out of P.
Huh.
I'm a dog. I gotta mark my territory.
That's what I heard.
This town of Echo is mine, okay? Or I'm warning other dogs that you really don't want to go here.
Chase, I have to pee on you. I know, but you have to just understand.
Hold on, wait, no.
You just have to understand.
No.
I feel like at this point, Chase and I already share sense. Thank you very much.
I will drown myself in Lake Sydney before I let either of you pee on me.
So you're getting into Leo's route. Chase loves Leo pee on him.
Oh my god.
I look down Main Street, toward the darkness of the lake and desert. The ominous feeling I get is overwhelming, like I have no doubt that if we set out into the desert, we wouldn't last long at all. I don't know why. I shudder violently, and TJ glances at me. He squeezes my hand, and I find it funny how quickly the role of the one doing the reassuring has flipped. I think we should go back to the motel. Leo finally looks back at me, and I see his expression soften.
Hey, Otter. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna get us out of here, okay?
I notice the same tone he'd used with TJ earlier. He sets his hands on my shoulders, but I honestly don't feel very reassured. TJ pipes up next to me.
Carl's house has some cars. Maybe he's there and we could leave him and...
Leo looks out towards the hilltop where Carl's house is at. We can't see it since all the lights are apparently off.
Maybe.
If he's not there, we could just break in.
I see TJ Blanche next to me. Even now, he's battling his moral values versus our need to survive.
Aw.
I still just want to go back to the motel, hole up in there and wait. Maybe sleep.
Good
I'd give
call.
anything just to be able to lay down somewhere safe right now.
Yeah, honestly.
But now, with the new possible factor of Brian, I can see the benefit of getting the hell out of here now.
Alright.
Leo sets his jaw, narrowing his eyes.
Let's go. Remember to stay close.
We don't bother going off-road on the way to Carl's house, mainly because we're just trudging through sagebrush full of ticks at that point. Leo figures that since Carl's house is the only thing up this road, aside from through the canyon to nowhere, no one will be driving there anyway. It takes us about 20 minutes to get there, walking in silence up the cracked road. The only sounds are panting. I'm the loudest, considering my short legs, and also that I'm probably the most out of shape compared to the others. When we're close to the mansion, I look back down toward Echo. Only a few of the streetlights dot the small town. You're
really
saying?
quick, I want to point this out because I think it's hilarious. Something that's pointed out in TJ's route is that TJ is ripped.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Like-
he's a PE dude.
He's more jacked. Like, I think the two most jacked individuals that you meet in this entire game is TJ and Kudzu.
They are both very
And
jacked.
and Leo used to be jacked. So
Oh, he
Leo's
used to be
like
jacked, but it's kind of hilarious to think about the
three fully
muscle
like,
to weight or muscle to weight ratio. TJ would easily wipe the floor with against Flynn and Leo combined.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's just he's the baby of the group, and everyone just kind of forgets. Baby is jacked.
Yeah, it is the unfortunate fact that he is a lynx and therefore tiny, but in fact he is like super ripped.
Dude, the more I learn about Leo, the more I love him.
Wait, Leo or
Not
TJ?
Leo. TJ.
Yeah, it's I think in one scene it's like he's looking at him and he's like, I never noticed the fact that TJ's muscles look like so stretched against his skin.
Oh no, we have had that happen.
Yeah, we got
he's
a
like-
good distance into
He's
TJ's
typing with
route.
TJ, and then he like TJ's sweat is against his shirt, and Chase gets and all that stuff.
Yeah. TJ
gotta
or
speak that.
Chase keep confirming to me that he is just an iteration of Corwin.
Corwin.
I don't see anyone on the roads near them. I see a window or two here and there with their lights on, but no movement from within. We only hear two sounds on our trek. One is a blood-curdling scream coming from the town behind us. A woman. TJ reaches out again for my hand when that happens, and I squeeze his comfortingly. The next, a few minutes later, is a faint laughter coming from further away that rises in pitch before fading back out. I grimace, wondering if anyone else heard it, or if it came from inside my head. No one says anything, and I don't ask. By the time we reach the mansion, I'm covered in sweat, and I keep adjusting my shirt uncomfortably as it sticks to my chest and shoulders. The garage door is closed, and there aren't any cars in the driveway. I wonder if Carl already took off. I hope he did. We stand in front of the door, and Leo holds out a hand to us, motioning us to be quiet. I watch his ears poke up to the full extension before he moves to the glass on the door, cupping both hands over his ears to peer inside. Over his eyes. We wait a tense moment, and I wonder if maybe he's looking in on something horrific. But after a while, Leo pulls back, shaking his head.
Can't hear or see anything.
Maybe he left. Or he's one of the others. Or he's with one of the others.
Kudzu offers quietly, standing just behind me.
Maybe.
Leo appears to be thinking hard. Then he reaches out to the doorbell with an index finger. He hesitates for a full 2 seconds before pressing it. The fancy chime rings softly from inside. I notice Leo has got a hand on his gun, watching through the glass intently. I also notice that not only is TJ pressing close to me, but so is Kudzu from the other side, his shoulder slightly ahead of mine. It's almost like he's shielding me. A minute goes by before Leo tries again. We wait another minute before Leo lets out a ragged sigh. Whether it's from relief or frustration, I'm not sure which.
Considering what's happening, you'd think some people from the town would come here to loot or something.
Yeah. I look back at the town. Its few glints of light staring ominously back. I'm able to suppress my shiver this time. I turn back just in time to see Leo try the door, and to my amazement, it opens. Leo seems surprised too, and lets go to let the door swing slowly open. We all stare into the blackness beyond, A few lights from the TV glowing in the darkness. Should we go in? Leo clears his throat.
Well, I gotta get the keys somehow.
Leo steps inside slowly, hand reaching along the wall to find a light switch. He finds it, though the light only illuminates the foyer, the housing going from goddamn dark to slightly less goddamn dark. It's just Carl's kitchen, though. Nothing seems to be out of place as far as I can see. I start to step forward, but I can feel TJ hesitate on my hand. I look back at him. You alright? He's staring into Carl's house, his eyes wide.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's probably safer inside anyway, right? TJ swallows, finally steps in with me. Kudzu following closely behind. The mansion is perfectly cool against my sweaty fur. There's something strangely comforting about something as simple as the AC still running. A sense of normalcy. Leo stands there, looking around intently before moving to the cupboards. He starts opening drawers, searching the counter, looking for keys. I leave TJ to huddle on the couch before moving to the kitchen myself. Hey, can we look for Carl too? Leo pushes close a drawer full of silverware.
Yeah, give me a sec.
I sigh. I'll be fine. It'll be faster if I look for him while you look for keys. Leo shakes his head.
Gotta stick together.
Although I do agree with Leo on that one. You probably should be sticking
Have
together.
you ever seen horror films, Chase? Stick together.
Chase... Okay, think about Carl's route. I think that's enough signs that Chase might not have the best survival instincts.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, I don't either.
So, when you are presented with the option to either push or grab someone wielding a knife, what's your choice, DJ?
Grab them. The only way to do it.
It's what you do.
Give them a stern talking to.
Grab the knife.
Tell them that violence isn't the answer.
Violence sells the answer. That's why you grab the knife.
Chinna, I know you think violence is the... Oh, you stabbed me.
Why did you do that? That hurt.
That hurt.
I can imagine Raven in the background. Chinna, no, that kills people! I suppress another sigh and move back to the living room. Somehow, TJ's already managed to fall into a doze, curled up in a small ball on the couch.
How are you doing?
I look over at Kudzu, who's got his arms folded, watching me closely. I'm doing okay, just kinda tense. Kudzu gives one of his rare smiles at that.
No kidding.
Yeah. I glance over at Leo, who's starting to rifle through some drawers full of what looked like opened letters.
What's up?
I look back at Kudzu. I'm just thinking about Carl, if he's here or not.
Ah,
I glance back at Leo. Hey, Leo wants us to stick together, but... I look back at Kudzu. You want to help me find Carl? Maybe you sweep the upstairs and I'll have a look in the basement real quick?
Oh no. Chase.
Kudzu glances at Leo as well. It'll make things go a bit faster.
Or you'll get...
Or you'll get murdered.
Well,
Or
you
you'll
won't.
get
killed.
You have bot shielding.
To an extent.
He can die, but that ends the game.
Yeah.
He gets bot shielding.
I think it'll be fine. I really don't think anyone's in this house.
Oh no.
Kudzu nods towards the window facing the town.
Kudzu. You're usually the person that says don't do this.
From what I've seen, people are mostly wrapped up in their own issues.
I mean, in all honesty, though, Kudzu's right. Like, genuinely, if this was a normal scenario with, like, anarchy and all that, this house would have been pillaged and looted and burned to the ground by now.
Oh, that's true.
Probably.
So many people in this town do not like the Hendricks family. They're like, these are the rich assholes who fucked over this town.
Yep.
But the fact
Here
that
they
this
are
house
that they're
has...
the ones that built it.
Yeah, and the fact that this house is still standing and no one broke into it at all is a sign that this is not a normal event. Whatever is going on. This isn't like just anarchy in the streets. Something's truly going wrong with everyone in town.
Makes sense.
Although I'd definitely be nervous about the fact the door was open.
I would stay with the only people staying sane with me. Like, that's...
Yeah, I don't think anyone's interested in looting here.
Besides, don't leave...
Well, alright. I'll take a quick look upstairs.
Alright, if you find anything worth looting, go ahead and take it.
I plan to.
I smile. Cool, I'll take a quick look downstairs. Oh, and keep a lookout for keys, too. And with that, we both move on, and we both move to the staircase. I give Leo one last glance to make sure he's not watching, before we both head in our respective upward and downward directions. I flip on the light switch to head into the basement. Did I just hear DJ scream?
Nope.
Okay, I thought I heard somebody go, "Why?"
I think that was Sam.
Yeah, that might have been Sam.
Why are you leaving me, Chase? Wait. Listen to what I tell you to do.
Do as I say, not as I do. And it's only when I stare into the dark hole I'm heading toward that I get the first inklings of fear. I shake my head, remembering what Kudzu had said. If anyone's here, it's definitely only Carl, and that would be a good thing. If we can find him.
Was it me who said why? I wasn't even in here.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting my car warmed up.
Ah. If we can find him, we can bring him with us, and we'll be able to find our way out of this hellhole. I tell myself this as I bounce quickly down the stairs, wanting to get this over with as soon as possible, and thinking about how in an alternate reality I broke the fuck out of my leg by this point. Now in the basement, I glance around quickly into the several doors down here. A storage room, a weight room, a video game looking room. I start to realize that if Carl is here, he's most likely upstairs, and I'm really just giving the basement a cursory check. I start to rush through, not wanting to take too long in case Leo notices, if he hasn't already. I reach the end of the long basement hallway, and I'm left looking into a smaller room. There's a tiny white wooden door that I assume leads to the crawl space.
Yeah, go in there, Leo.
I stare at it for a
Go in
moment,
there.
Chase.
not even thinking to bother with it until I see little white hoof prints. There are several of them, like someone came and went dozens of times, into and out of the crawl space. I look back behind myself, feeling a chill run up my spine like someone's watching me.
Pops.
Looking back at the prints, I notice that there's a little door that the little door is slightly open. Could Carl be in there?
Pops.
Could TJ be talking to his cats in a hushed whisper?
Yeah. I'm just behind you with the cats.
I thought you were asleep on the couch.
No. No, I have my cats. I have my cats with me.
The cat sees the day today.
Ah yes, this is the cat's pajamas.
I mean, with all the fur rubs off on me, I could make a cat.
I remember that he'd be down here when we couldn't find him during the birthday party. At the moment, I catch a glimpse of something poking out from the door. It's skinny and hairy and very long, maybe 6 inches in length. I stare at it, wondering if it's a Halloween decoration that's stored under there.
Chase!
Leo's voice booming down the stairs makes me jump a foot in the air. I don't have time to stare at the black thing any longer, and instead stumble down the hall, toward the sound of Leo's voice. The icy glare directed at me as I move up the stairs actually makes me cower a little bit. I'm not used to having his monolithic anger directed at me.
Told you to stick together.
His voice
Fuck
rumbles
off,
out at me.
Leo.
Sorry, I found something.
Well, Kudzu did too. Carl's upstairs.
What? Thought of the hoof prints disappeared from my mind immediately.
What does my cat want?
He told me you were down here.
Well, I heard the
DJ's
cat now.
And
It wasn't my cat, thankfully.
No, my cat's screaming and is like, what? What do you want from me?
Oh,
What
it
did
wants
I
your
do?
attention.
Yeah, but why?
Just because it's a cat.
I guess so.
They don't need a reason to want your attention. I have 3.
Sorry, DJ, could you repeat that line? Because there was cats talking over you.
he told me you were down here and TJ was on the couch with Kat. And
Neither.
Kudzu apparently too. Come on.
I like to think that Kudzu and TJ just like, you know what, screw going and saying, we're just going to play with a cat.
Yep.
I don't know why cats exist in this weird universe, and I don't want to think about that, but hey, I don't have
Yeah.
to.
It's not in the woods rules.
Yeah. God, hey,
More gently now, he grabs my hand, pulls me the rest of the way upstairs. I'm expecting us to turn into Carl's room, but instead we go further toward the end of the hall. I think this is where Carl's bedroom is. Parents' bedroom is, wow. Carl's lying on the bed, looking over at TJ, who's in the middle of talking to him from the side. He glances our way when we enter the room.
Leo, Chase.
He
I'm
squints at
expecting
us.
Carl to make an entrance.
Yeah, Carl was gonna get in here pretty soon, so... He squints at us, like he's having trouble focusing.
His route, he's in my route. I don't understand.
I smile and sigh with relief. Carl! I move to the side of the bed next to TJ, and that's when I see that the ram is covered in a white-looking chalk substance. It reminds me of the prints downstairs. It's all over his horns, and a bit of what looks like the drywall is covering the pillow around his head. What happened? Are you okay? Were you just taking a nap?
Easy.
Leo says to me, so I shut my mouth. TJ reaches out and grabs one of Carl's big hands. The ram just stares at the ceiling now, looking just as confused as we are. I look over at Kudzu, who's standing a little off to the side, like he did when we were trying to talk to TJ. What happened? I mumble at the raccoon, and Kudzu moves a little closer.
I don't know. I just came in and thought he was taking a nap or something.
I glance back at Carl, watching as TJ starts to gently pat his forehead. But he wasn't. Kudzu shrugs.
Weird voodoo science, I don't know. He was sort of, I don't know, he was sweating and mumbling. I kept calling his name, like, really loudly, to the point that Leo came up.
Carl starts to breathe heavily, and he covers his face. I think he's crying, so I step back a bit with Kudzu, not wanting to crowd him, as TJ leans over and hugs him.
It wasn't until Leo touched him that he woke up, like, really suddenly.
Huh.
No, I'm fine.
Carl lets out a weird shaky laugh as he sits up, wiping his eyes.
I was just having a really fucked up dream. Felt like I was in it for hours, man.
Carl leans back on his hands, staring at the ceiling again.
I had a dream that the town went fucking insane. And then I ran back here and sort of just went downstairs and then I was gone.
Gone? Where?
Carl shakes his head.
I don't know. A hotel or something? A few hallways that went in circles and I couldn't get out or wake up.
Carl looks back at us.
Even now, I don't know if I'm dreaming. At least there's people around.
Carl shakes his head, a cloud of dust coming up from the fur.
What are you guys doing here anyways?
Actually, the town did go a bit strange.
What? Really?
Leo seems to hesitate, clearly not wanting to rile up Carl more than he already is.
Yeah, but we're trying to leave. Actually, that's why we're here. We need a car.
You can stay. We don't need you.
Just the car.
I need a
I'm
car
sure
and
you
help my
understand.
boyfriend. Screw you, I never liked you anyway.
I'm sure you understand.
Well, fuck you too. So,
It's
What
not
I s-
personal. It's just personal.
what I saw in the town, however long ago that was, it really happened?
Maybe.
Well, wait, no.
Sorry, that wasn't my line.
Yeah. Say your line, Leo.
I did, like 3 times.
Well,
Maybe.
No, you guys say it when no one's talking over you.
Maybe.
Nope.
Meh.
Uh. I've done it. I've bullied one of my friends. My checklist is getting closer and closer to being complete.
Only Alan would be happy about that.
Did you not
Maybe.
see? Did you not see how hard I was trolling Seb last night?
Poor Seb.
Murder Cup deserves murder.
Really did.
By the way, Sebastian, how's your DMs?
Cleared.
Like,
Cleared. Oh, we need to
People-
change that.
we're running around shooting and stuff.
Leo doesn't say anything to that.
Why do you need my car? What about your van?
Would we be here if we didn't need if our van was fine?
Uh.
No car, we would have been long gone.
TJ wouldn't say that, but I would. It broke down?
Carl narrows his eyes.
How?
A very angry, messed up bear.
Listen, we'll tell you everything on the way. We just need to get out of here now.
TJ picks up some bits of white chalk from Carl's head fur.
What's all over you?
Carl runs a hand over his head, bringing it away to find it covered in white dust.
Ran into a wall.
You ran. Oh.
Carl suddenly points at my arm.
Dude, what happened?
Huh? Oh. I lift my arm and remember the cut that I got from the broken window. The fur is heavily matted down with blood, and the jagged cut is still oozing a little bit.
Oh yeah, we never cleaned that up, did we?
Nope. Why would we do that?
Intelligence? Nah, not in this house.
See, the thing is, our group is actually high in intelligence. Wisdom, though.
Yeah.
We don't have a wisdom modifier.
What's wisdom?
It's
Wisdom is the
negative
dumb
5.
stat.
Wisdom is the stat that nerds use.
Yeah, it's the dumb stat. Like, everyone
Yeah.
knows that.
I don't think I've ever had a character where wisdom wasn't a dumb stat.
I agree.
Haven't you played a cleric before?
Nope,
Wisdom was
never
still the
played a
dumb
cleric.
stat.
Oh.
Never played a cleric. I've played Lick and Kane
Wait,
in different iterations
I
of
have a
each
terrible idea for a campaign at some point.
Oh no.
Play a game where everyone's like dump stat is actually supposed to be their primary stat, and you just deliberately have everyone be improperly statted for their roles.
Just
Oh my
absolutely useless.
Garbage.
Ah, yes, the barbarian and totally has a high charisma and nothing in strength or dexterity.
That's good.
Long story. We'll explain, like Leo said. The ram stares at the cut, so I lower my arm. It seems to be finally settling in for Carl. Things are not right. It's also kind of interesting that he's the first of my friends to point out that I was wounded. You know, aside from Kudzu.
He's the first of your friends to care.
Yeah, it's a little sad. I've also realized that none of us are immune to the new hysteria settling into the town.
Give me a shout.
What?
What was that?
What?
What?
What? Who do I need to give a shout to?
Oh.
Mm.
Well, someone asked me to give them a shout, and now I don't know. So, uh, is
Don't worry about it.
okay. Is this what it was like for all those people living in the town over 100 years ago? I managed to think humorously to myself that I actually did do what I set out to when I started the project. It's pretty clear that it's happening all over again.
Sure, friend.
So,
Sure.
you got your keys. We need to get the hell out of here and get this town some help.
Yeah, yeah. I'll get them from my room.
We pull quietly out of the driveway in Carl's car, which makes almost no sound since it's a hybrid. Leo's driving, of course. Carl's still woozy, and Leo actually had to help him walk around to find the keys. I sit in the back, between Carl and TJ, while Kudzu sits in the passenger seat next to Leo. I'd overheard Leo mumbling to Kudzu to sit next to him while I helped Carl into the car. Something about them needing to be able to get out of the car quickly with their guns if things went down. Leo didn't floor it like I expected him to, but we moved down the bench of the mountain and through the town speedily enough. I see TJ look out his window intently, and I can only imagine it's to see if he can spot Jenna, maybe even Flynn.
Dude, I don't feel good.
Carl mumbles next to me, both hands on his stomach, twisting at the fabric of a city. Just puke on the floor if you have to. I don't think Leo's gonna stop. Carl leans over and puts his head between his knees, groaning. That gets TJ's attention, and he starts rubbing the ram's back slowly.
Good thing it feels like there's nothing in me. So, what the hell's going on? Where's Jenna?
TJ frowns.
We don't know.
What happened then?
I take a deep breath, trying to figure out how to explain. Well, we're not sure what's going on everywhere, but on Saturday, while I was at the diner with Leo, I go through my story as quickly as I can, explaining to Carl what's been going on. The rest of the car's quiet, so I get anxious when I get to the part about Brian, and skip over it as much as I can. I only mention that he held me there for a day. By the time I finish, we're already passing the lake.
Huh. So is it Sunday already? Sunday morning?
Yeah, I guess so.
So I was out a whole fucking day.
I don't say anything in response.
What happened to you, Tej? You okay?
They misspelled T. It's supposed to be with a G at the end.
G-E, yeah.
Carl turned his gaze on to TJ, who just nods.
Yeah, I was seeing things too. People chasing me. I'm okay now, though.
TJ actually does seem pretty stable now after everything that happened. Maybe taking care of Carl is taking his mind off whatever happened to him. Either way, he doesn't expand on what he saw. Carl shivers and puts his head back down, while TJ continues to rub his back. A few minutes of silence go by before Carl speaks up again.
That feels kinda nice. Reminds me of my mom.
Yeah, actually, my mom did it too, though it might help.
Hey, I love you. Just so you know. All you guys. I'm glad that I'm not in that place anymore.
I love you too, Carl, and everyone else.
You too, Raccoon Man.
Thanks.
That's
Yeah.
not a question. Shut up.
Okay. This isn't creepy.
Yeah. I affirm my own love for everyone. With that, yeah. Kudzu glances back at us before turning his attention out his own window. Leo doesn't say anything from the front, his focus solely on the road ahead of him and how he does not love anyone. I watch the desert whip by us, and for the first time feeling somewhat safe as the town disappears behind us.
Oh, this is the perfect spot.
But of course, it doesn't last long.
What's that on the side of the road there?
So I'm gonna let everyone know ahead of time. Once we're finished with this scene, we're gonna call it for the night, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
This is good.
I'm gonna stop what I'm doing and watch.
Hmm?
Leo turns his head in the direction that Kudzu points. We all do. What we see changes everything for me from that point on. Sure, things were crazy, and I had a hard time believing anything that was happening, but it was explainable. People like Duke, Brian, TJ, even Carl were all seeing things. But it was kind of a distant thing in a way. Something everyone else was experiencing. Something I was exempt from. But now, there it is. Something I can't explain right in front of me.
What is that?
Oh my gosh!
TJ covers his mouth. Carl sits up straight, trying to see. Leo slows down as we pass. There's my car, all the windows shattered. And there's Duke, lying a dozen feet away from the open door of the driver's side.
Sorry, cat.
And there, crouching over him, is something I can't explain. Hairless, body and limbs long. Way too long. The head comes up, and all I see are 3 holes in blood. TJ screams next to me, and Leo shouts something before stepping on the gas, slamming me back into my seat. I tried to look back, but whatever it was is gone. At least, it's gone from where it was, because I see something move next to my window, and I turn to face it. And it stares back at me. But only for a moment. That thing, whatever the fuck it is, disappears for almost an instant. I register that it's there. I'm only staring out into the blackness of the desert. Still, 3 holes, 2 eyes, and a mouth blink back at me in a sort of afterimage before that too vanishes.
What was that? What was that?
TJ's grabbing my arm, claws digging painfully into my skin. I'm too shocked to even pull away as TJ leans forward next to me, staring out my window. At least I know I'm not the only one who saw it. TJ squeaks again when no one answers him.
What was that?
I don't know. Some kind of animal, maybe?
I've never seen anything like that before.
Could have a disease, lost all its fur, or something. Maybe Duke hit it?
But it was walking!
TJ's arm is looped around mine, and I can feel his body shaking. I look over my
animals
shoulder.
can walk too.
What now?
Rude. I was making a joke, my bad.
Oh, it's okay. I just didn't hear it.
I was like, some animals can walk too, It don't have to be rude.
Ah. I look over my shoulder, through the back window. At this point, my car is a good distance away, only visible because the headlights are on, a streak of light fading out across the desert. Duke, is he? Some dry retching noises, followed by heavy splattering sounds, cut me off. Carl is hunched over in the seat, head between his legs. It isn't hard to figure out what happened, especially when the smell hits me.
Oh my gosh, Carl!
TJ looks torn between blanching away and comforting the ram. Carl comes back up, looking like he's about to say something before diving forward again. A much louder retch, followed by a much quieter plopping sound, follows.
Yeah.
I grimace, feeling my own stomach roil.
God.
Kudzu's looking back at us, a paw up to his nose.
You okay?
Carl keeps his head down a while longer, his fingers twisting into the fabric of his shorts. TJ tentatively rubs his back.
I would have done out the window. I don't want to open any windows now, though.
It's okay. Leo, are there any napkins up there?
Leo, who's been silent up until now, remains silent. He's staring out the windshield hard, paws on the wheel in a death grip. After a moment of silence, Kudzu checks the cup holders, then drops open the glove compartment. After rummaging around for a minute, he pulls out a stack of fast food style napkins. He hands them back to Carl, who starts mopping up whatever mess he's made on himself. During all this, I'm still glancing out the windows. Not head on though, because I'm terrified I'm going to be looking straight into those eyes again. We drive in silence for the next 5 minutes, with no creature in sight, thankfully. But I don't know what to think right now. There's no way what I saw was some... What?
Sorry, something was playing on my phone.
Oh, it's okay. There's no way what I saw was some animal like Kudzu implied. The way it moved, the way it crouched, and most of all, its face. I've never seen anything like it. At least anything that's not a Halloween costume. Maybe one of the locals dressed up in the costume or something. But then how the fuck did it keep up with the car? Were we going that fast? Leo did slow down a little. I keep these thoughts to myself. Everyone looks freaked out enough without any more speculation. So instead, I lean back into my seat, deciding just to close my eyes. We're on our way out, and soon I'll be safe in a police station or a hospital or something. It'll be explained when the cops get here. I try not to think about Duke on the ground, Janice in the diner, Jenna out there, somewhere. With that thing. I shake my head, eyes still closed.
Are you...
No, that's me. Kudzu, just stay on my line. Are you okay, Chase?
TJ's arm is still around mine, the places where her fur is pressed together getting hot and sweaty. I don't mind though, as long as it brings him some comfort. Yeah, I'm just tired. Actually, now that I mention it, I am pretty tired. I didn't exactly get much sleep in Kudzu's trailer, or Brian's. I start to drift off as my head bumps gently against the headrest, a soft whir of the AC on my forehead.
What the fuck?
The car lurches as Leo slows down again. Reluctantly, I open my eyes, half expecting to see some other kind of nightmarish ghoul out the window. But I don't see anything, just the road stretching ahead of us.
What's wrong?
Leo's quiet for a moment. I can't see his face since I'm right behind him, but I can see the outline of his twitching ears.
I don't...
Leo turns in his seat, looking out the passenger window, then his own.
I'm heading the right way, right?
I look out the window as well, not seeing anything except sagebrush and cacti. But then I do notice something. The mountains, which had been on the right, are now on my left, rising ominously in the distance. Had we turned around somehow? Unless we're on the highway, which we definitely aren't.
The road merges right onto the highway. There's no way we can miss it.
I hear TJ gasp softly next to me. I look over at him, but then he's looking straight ahead, out the windshield. I do the same, and in the distance, I can see headlights off the side of the road. No way.
What is it?
Leo brings the car to a hard stop, throwing me forward into the seatbelt. Then he does a quick 3-point turn, shoving me right, then left before I'm smacked into the seat as Leo accelerates again.
Whoa, careful. My parents will kill me if you fuck up the ride.
Carl laughs nervously, but no one pays attention to him.
There's no fucking way. I was going straight.
There's that side road that takes you to some of the trails. Maybe we sort of went off on.
Leo snaps at the link suddenly.
There is no way, TJ. That road is fucking gravel. I would have noticed.
Leo's hunched in his seat like an angry dad, staring out the window, his ears practically dancing on his head. I can feel TJ trembling, so I lean into him a bit, letting him know that I'm there. It's clear that Leo doesn't want any talking, so we're all quiet. This time I keep my eyes open, staring out the window in case Leo did get sidetracked somehow. I focus on the mountains, making sure that they don't disappear. They slope up and gently under the moonlight, speckled with the dark spots of rock and vegetation. Vaguely, I remember back when I had been obsessed with skateboarding and always imagined myself skating those slopes on car trips to Peyton. Up and down, up and down. If only Echo had anything like that. The only slope we had was one down from Carl's mansion, and that was way too big. I tried skateboarding down it once, but that ended in disaster when I blink, staring out the window as the mountains just disappear, sloping down into nothing. I squint, then look out Carl's window. Sure enough, mountains. Leo.
I know.
Leo speeds up instead of turning around, though.
This is fucking possible.
What are you doing?
TJ's claws come out against my skin again as he gets that scared cat look in his eyes. Leo mumbles, mostly to himself.
There is no way we're going back to Echo.
Leo, slow down a little.
Leo lets out a small growl, but relents, and TJ's grip on my arm loosens some.
I'm going to keep going until that car, because I sure as hell don't want to turn...
Didn't.
Because I sure as hell didn't turn around that time.
The tone in Leo's voice keeps any of us from arguing. Though I hate to admit it, something about his demeanor has me just as scared of him as I am of whatever is out there. Another minute of driving, more awkward silence, then Leo hisses through his teeth.
I'm stuck in a loop.
Straight ahead of us, the headlights appear. What?
Damn it.
I must be dreaming. It's like we're stuck in some kind of loop. As Sam had said, Leo slows down more and more until we come to a gentle stop. We sit there in silence, staring at my car about 100 yards in front of us. Leo starts muttering darkly to himself, looking out the windows, looking at the dashboard. I want to ask him if he's okay, but I know what the answer is. TJ makes soft whimpering sounds next to me, like he's trying not to cry, and I finally put my arm around him. It's okay, it's just dark, and we're gonna go off-road somehow, and we're going off-road somehow. I whisper whatever comes to my mind to explain whatever the fuck is happening. Carl has his head down and his paws, completely quiet. He could be asleep for all I know. I think about suggesting that maybe we should just wait it out until morning in the car. But as I open my mouth, I hear a scratching noise toward the back of the car. TJ's ears perk up, which lets me know I'm not the only one. Instinctively, I turn around in my seat. Bits of glass fly into my face, and the next thing I know, I'm cowering in the seat, head down as far as I can push it. Carl, very much awake now, screams at Leo.
Go, go, go!
Leo's already on it, and I feel the car jolt forward. Then I'm bouncing up and down the seat as we go off-road. Leo not bothering with a free three-point turn this time, instead going for a full U-turn. We're back on the asphalt, speeding down the road when I feel it's safe. God damn it, Malwarebytes! That had to pop up now? Fucking weird pop-up bullshit. Alright. We're back on the asphalt and speeding down the road when I feel it's safe enough to raise my head, back up and look out the back window. For a moment, I'm terrified that I'm going to find that thing crouched on the trunk, staring in at us. But instead, all I see is a giant hole through the back window, the remaining glass jagged.
Are you guys okay?
Leo looks back and forth between us and the road ahead of him. I sit up fully. I think so. I yell at him over the sound of the car and the wind whistling around behind me. Carlos bent over in his seat too, brushing glass from his hat and hoodie. I look at TJ, who's still cowered, or who's still crouched over in his own seat, covering his head. Bits of glass are scattered on his back and his head fur. I pick some of the pieces out from the fur of his neck and lean over him. TJ, are you okay? TJ shudders and doesn't say anything as I pluck some of the shards from under his collar.
I do. I have to go.
It's okay. I hope you have a good night, Sam.
Have a good
That's,
night.
What was that?
Seb, do you want to be TJ for the rest of this scene?
I guess I'm TJ.
Don't worry, Flynn will be coming back at some point.
Oh
Yeah,
boy,
that's
here I
he's
go
like-
being TJ again. Hope nothing bad happens to me.
Nope,
Nothing bad ever happens to TJ.
Nothing bad ever happens to TJ.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedy.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys.
Kudzu shouts back at us, staring through the window, about how something about nothing bad happening to the Kennedys. I really don't get it. I don't know. I don't know that reference.
That's what he's panicked about.
Yep.
I don't want to think about what I actually think it was. Leo keeps up the high speed, hitting some of the potholes hard enough that I'm worried we're going to get a flat. Then we'd be in some real trouble. We drive on for another 5 minutes in silence. Then the headlights of my car appear in the front of us again. This time, no one says anything, and Leo doesn't bother turning around. I watch out my window as we fly past my old car. Duke is still there on the ground. No movement from where he was last time we saw him. Since this is the area where the creature seems to be prowling, I look out the back window. I want to be ready in case it tries to come through again. But nothing happens. All I see is a small stretch of asphalt illuminated red from the taillights, and all I hear is the wind whipping around through my ears. I keep a hand on TJ's back as he continues to remain hunched over. Carl sits quietly, staring out his window. On the bright side, the bashed-in back window has diminished the smell of sick. Sparse dots of light show up in the horizon, indicating where Echo is. Oh, hey, who just joined?
No idea.
Oh, Blake? Oh, neat. Well, we're about to wrap up soon, so... that's when Leo speaks up.
Alright, what we're gonna do is head back to my house. You guys can get some sleep while I figure out what to do next.
Leo pauses, but no one says anything.
Sound good?
Yeah, not much left to do.
Leo grunts and hunches forward in his seat again. There's a sinking feeling in my stomach as at the thought of going back to Echo. There is the comfort of at least not being out in the wilderness, but I wonder if it's much worse than the town. Even with that creature prowling around. I stare out the window, watching the mountains move slowly by under the moonlight as we turn onto Lake Emma Road. I mean, this is fine. This background here is fine, right, guys?
Yep. Totally
Perfect.
Also
fine.
really blurry.
It's a little blurry. I
The
see the redness.
Ideal vacation resort right here. So
Yeah.
ideal that I can't even tell what I'm looking at.
I'm waiting for it to not be blurry for you guys, because once it's not blurry, you'll see that this is fine if you look right under the moon.
Absolutely.
Oh boy, I can't. I see nothing but pixels. Very, very deep pixels. Fun fact: whatever you're talking about, Alan, I actually missed when I played this. I didn't
Ah.
realize that was there. I know what you're talking about, but I didn't realize it was actually in the picture.
Oh yeah, no, I really enjoy this.
Oh dear.
Is it there now for you guys?
No,
Nope.
not yet.
Oh, come on! Discord,
It's
just
weird
let me
because-
get the horror to my friends.
The text is perfectly resolution, but the image itself isn't.
Alright, I'm gonna just do a print screen and get Paint to help me with this.
Oh no.
Let's see what's faster, Discord giving you guys the friggin' image or me getting through Paint.
Alright, time to race. GDQ,
100%
show your friends not safe for life images any percent. Here we go.
Not safe for life.
Yes.
Nothing's safe for life. Everything kills you.
I mean, true, but some things are less safe than others.
Some things are less safe than others, yes.
Yes.
It's
Deep
all
thoughts.
relative.
Alright, and we get up Discord, and I put that over here, and enjoy, friends.
Okay,
Oh, it's
now I
still
gotta look at
loading.
Discord.
Still loading.
No, it's...
Still loading.
You put it on me.
Still loading. Still loaded. Still
Where are you
loading.
gonna be putting it?
There. Oh, it's processing. There we go.
Where'd you put it?
I put it in meantime.
Okay,
Meme
I'm
time.
kind of disappointed.
Oh,
Load.
yeah, I never realized that was there.
what's in the distance?
Look under the moon.
I see under the moon, but it's hard to tell.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
You know, your everyday Cthulhu monster.
Yeah.
As you do.
It got
That's the
eyes.
neighbors.
Let's open it. We'll try opening the original.
I'm wondering if taking one of the mountain roads out of town would be worth it. Whether we'd have enough gas when it happens.
Yeah, I guess that does look a little monstrous.
A crouched figure sits on the peak of the hill, about 50 feet from where we were. And now it's gone.
Okay.
It's gonna get us.
I
I mean,
squinted.
honestly, I've seen worse under the cover of night.
Sure. I squint at it, just barely able to make out what looks like shoulders and the head hunched up under the light of the moon. I'm directly across from the thing when I open my mouth. But I'm barely able to make a sound when it moves. It dashes down the hill in the blink of an eye, covering the distance between it and our car in a matter of 2 seconds. One moment I'm staring at the tiny black figure, and the next it's right up next to the car, smashing into the side between Leo's door and mine. My head smacks into the glass, and I see a flash of white. At the same time, I hear Kudzu shout at us to hold on. TJ screams. Carl yells. My feet are fucking freezing. I open my eyes and stare down at them. It's almost too dark to see, but I hear the sounds of sloshing water and screaming. You're up, new TJ.
Oh. Chase. Chase!
What? My head aches, and there's something in my eyes that stings. Everything's blurry.
Chase, are you okay?
A big paw prods at my chest, and I look up. I can barely make the outline of the ears. Leo? Wait. And it hits me like the car crash we were just in. That thing! I look out my window again. It's all shattered and spiderwebbed. But I can see what looks like water pouring through it. At the same time, I feel that icy cold sensation running down my back as water comes through the broken back window like a waterfall. We crash into the fucking lake.
Chase!
I'm awake. I'm good. I grab at my seatbelt, taking way longer than it should to get it undone. All the while, there's a bizarre, feral, yowling sound next to me, and I don't realize it's TJ until his claws find my chest and arm and dig in. Ow! TJ, stop! Calm down! But he doesn't stop responding. He doesn't even respond, continuing on with that god-awful sound.
Sir, that's called drowning.
Through the window! Through the wall. Sorry.
To the Carl's line! Matt? It's a Carl line.
Through the window.
Carl's already up on the rear deck, trying to push through the water coming in.
Come on.
Carl's screaming, panicked voice disappears suddenly, and I can only hope that's because he got out.
Chase? Chase? Come on, we need to get you out.
I feel Leo's big paws grabbing at me, but I turn and push them away. I'm fine, let me help TJ.
Chase!
Leo, I'm a fucking otter! The water at this point is up to my chest. The car's front end is tipped down into the water, and with the sparse moonlight coming in through the back, I can see it's up to Leo's neck. Kudzu is somehow in the back with me and TJ where Carl was. He's staring at me, eyes wide, looking torn between escaping and helping me. Go, Kudzu! Through the window! Leo, go out through your door!
Chase!
Go! I scream at
Fucking
basically
God, it's
everyone,
true.
and I can only hope that they do as I say as I duck down and water goes over my head. The quiet piece of underwater is a sharp contrast to the fucking chaos my brain is in. Somehow in the wreck, the back seat crunched forward, and TJ's seatbelt buckle is lost somewhere in the crease. I grit my teeth. I can barely hold my breath almost 10 minutes, but I know that for most other species, it's less than 2. Far less if you're panicking out of your mind like TJ is. I grit my teeth as I calmly try to reach between the fold, between the seat and the back, despite the desperate clawing the lynx is giving me. Again, though, it's far too wedged in to get a hold on. Soon, my calm demeanor melts away as I fumble uselessly with the seatbelt, and time stubbornly marches on. I feel myself start to panic as I just grab TJ around the body and yank as hard as I can. But it's no use at all, and when I pull on the chest strap, it's jammed, and it can't get any slack. TJ's grasping and clawing starts to become weaker. I try to think of something to use to cut the strap, but there's nothing. Maybe a shard of glass? I move up and away from TJ, back towards the back window, trying to ignore how weakly he tries to clutch at me. As I reach up to the seat, though, my hand slips between the headrest and rear deck. I reach in and realize it's the trunk of the car. With a lunge, I reach down and feel around the bottom of the seat back. My paw runs against something hard and metal, and I know I've found what I'm looking for. I grab up the buckle and unlatch it. Swing around as quickly as I can, I grab the strap across TJ's chest and set my feet against the seat. I pull back as hard as I can, and just like that, it comes undone. I scoop TJ up, his limp body giving me an extra burst of adrenaline as I set my feet against the back of the driver's seat and push out. My aim is a little off as my head hits the ceiling instead, but I am able to find the hole pretty quickly and kick through it. It's a little awkward to undulate my body into a nice clean swim with TJ's weight, but I manage it well enough, and within seconds we break the surface. I breathe out into the air while TJ coughs and sputters. His arms wrap around my neck tightly, and I had to put a paw under his arms to keep him from strangling me. TJ, we're good. You're good. Calm down. I look around, and I'm amazed to see how far we are from the shore. It's a good 100 yards away. I can already see Kudzu standing there, and Leo's in the shallows, shouting to Carl, who's a few feet further in, splashing around. I kick off in that direction as TJ continues to hyperventilate into my ear. TJ, it's okay. Remember when you used to ride on my back in the lake? It's like that, like old times. I try to adopt a soothing tone between my ragged gasps for air. TJ finally settles on my back, though his arms are still around my neck. Still a lot better than him dragging me down with him. His gasps calm down as we get closer to the shore, tapering off into a weird sort of mumbling sound. I make out a few words though, and one of them is a name. Sydney.
Yeah.
I frown and swim a bit faster, wanting to get him to dry land so that he can get his wits back together. Meanwhile, Carl grabs onto Leo's outstretched paws, and the wolf pulls him back to shore. All the while, he stares at me and TJ intently.
He didn't deserve.
Shh. I shush him gently as I feel my toes find the sandy bottom of the lake. I gently pull the lynx back with me to the narrow strip of sand between the lake and the incline that slopes onto the road. Carl's already there, flat on his back, spread eagle, so I do the same with TJ, laying him down right next to the ram. He's still trying to talk, though.
Did Sydney? How long did he?
Gently, I put a paw over the lynx's muzzles. It's all right, man. Try to relax. Breathe. Kudzu stands next to me and starts to reach out to touch my shoulder.
You okay?
And then a much paw comes out. I think it's like a bigger paw.
Much larger paw.
Oh, thank you. Much larger. Yeah. There we go. And then a much larger paw comes out from behind me, pushing Kudzu's arms aside as I'm pulled back into a tight hug. Leo huffs into my ear.
Thank God, thank God. You were under for so long.
I'm okay. I reach back with a paw, setting against the side of Leo's face. When I bring it back, I see it's a bit darker than it should be. I look back and immediately see the gash on the side of Leo's face. Shit, your head! Leo brushes off my paws.
Your head. I think we both hit our windows. When something hit us.
I reach up, feeling around my forehead before I feel a sore sticky spot in my fur. It isn't a bad cut, but it's definitely leaking a good amount of blood. It was that thing we saw next to Duke. I saw it standing on a hill, and it just ran at us. I look over at Kudzu, who's moved to stand over Carl, his arms hugging his chest tightly. Kudzu, are you okay?
I'm fine.
His response is tense and a little high-pitched.
I don't know about Carl, though. He had a little trouble swimming back.
Carl lets out a choked cough in response. I gently pull away from Leo and kneel down next to the ram, between him and TJ. He's conscious, luckily, though his panting is a bit shallow. I set a paw gently on his head. You okay? Matt? It's Carl.
Yeah.
He says it like he's asking me a question. You sure?
I mean, yeah, I'm breathing. I didn't mean to leave you guys, but...
It's fine. Staying with us would have made things way worse. It's strange to me how collected I am right now. I guess it's that same numbing feeling that I felt since escaping Brian's trailer. Just take the fucked up stuff in and roll with it.
I'm bad at swimming, but it was so fucking cold and my clothes felt like 1,000,000 pounds.
Looking at his thick sweater, it isn't a surprise at all. TJ's quieted down next to me. His eyes were open, staring up at the sky as he chuffs quietly. They're so wide and glossy, I can see the reflection of the stars twinkling in them. I tentatively reach out and rest a paw on his head, like I did with Carl. TJ barely reacts, continuing to stare up at the sky. Tej? I feel Leo's huge presence crouched down next to me as he gets close and whispers into my ear.
Listen, we should get going to my house. I don't like being here, especially if that thing really did do it.
But TJ, I don't know if he's able.
I'll carry him.
And he does, scooping the lynx up into his arms like he's a baby.
All right, come on. We can rest at my house. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Leo starts trekking up the rocky slope. Kudzu and I wait for Carl, who lays on the ground a moment longer before finally rolling over and getting laboriously to his feet. I hold one hand, and Kudzu holds the other, and together we made it on our way onto the road and back into Echo. And we'll call it there.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's the place to call it, all right.
Terrifying thing attacks the world.
Oh yeah, say goodbye, everyone.
Monsters
Bye.
beware, for Leo is here.